So I obviously do a lot of reading, and today I thought I'd do a quick flick through of my book journal. We are in September now, so it is nearly full, as you can tell. But I thought I'd do like a quick flick through, and then maybe when I set up next year's, I can show you guys it. So this is it. It's covered in stickers, obviously. But if we flick through, I have the cover, which is obviously Reading Journal 2025, and I took some scrap pieces of books, like in my local charity shop they have broken books, and I took them and antiqued them and whatnot. At the start I have my goals on this side. I'm just checking you can see. I have my goals on this side, which was to read 100 books, which I've smashed. Use my Kindle Unlimited more, which I've smashed. Don't be scared to don't DNF, which obviously means did not finish a book. Be more consistent with my journal, which I think I have been, so I'm just going to take that off. And I've been more consistent with DNFing. This bit is, you know, might be able to see that, I think, there we go. It's like a flick out to like, I don't know what my ratings mean. So 5 stars means I absolutely loved it, it's my new favourite. 4 stars is like, I highly recommend this book. 3 stars, it was alright. 2 stars, it was okay. And 1 star or below is, what the fuck is that? On the other side, I have my stats for the year. Sorry, my dog's in the kitchen with me. My stats for the year, so how many 5 stars I gave, how many ebooks, audiobooks, which is none because I never read them, never listen to them, how many physical books, series I completed, series I continued, or series I started, which I've made note of somewhere else. And then I'll have how many books I read in total, how many pages I read. Okay, so flipping over, I have my reading goal, and it was supposed to be coloured in per month, so blue was going to be January, so on and so forth. I did not keep to this, as you can tell. She can pretend it doesn't exist. This was my books of 2025, and I was keeping note of when I started a book and when I finished it, the book and the author, and then if it was a Kindle book or a physical book. But I quickly ran out of space and then never continued it. But yeah, so then this was supposed to be pictures of my physical books. I was a little gracious of what I was going to do because I've not left enough space at all, so we're just ignoring those pages as well. Moving on, we have my monthly faves, which will be filled out at the end of the year, and I'll put a cover of each of my favourite book. Then I have my monthly totals, which is like total books I read, total pages, etc, etc. So in January I read 27 books with 2,522 pages, which were 9 physical and 18 on my Kindle. I think the most I've read this year is in April, which was 80 books, with only 110,034 pages, 8 of which were physical and 72 were Kindle. And I'm pretty sure I was going through a novella phase where I just read novellas, which are anywhere between 29 to 180 pages. But I really like novellas as well, so yeah. And then I think, yeah, we just go straight into January. So this is January 2025. I tried to keep note of when I finished a book. This quickly goes out of the window completely. But I tried to keep note of when I finished a book, which was the 3rd, the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th of January, then the 9th, the 16th, 21st, 22nd, 24th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31. And I did read quite a lot that month. But yeah, So like it just shows like a lot of novellas again were in this month, and they're like the really cheesy romance ones where like it's a mountain man, and I'm not afraid to say I love a mountain man. Another thing I do is like I make collages, or I find these are two that I found, collages of the books I really liked that month. So for this month it was All My Kisses For You and Keep Me In Your Heart by Monica Murphy, and it's like it's either the third or second generation of the Lancaster families in those books. I think it's the second, and the author, just, I love her writing so much. Again, more Mountain Men books. I started my hockey romance early this year. I did a reread of the Legacy of God series by Rena Kent as well this year, because the new one came out. I did try and keep quotes in, but it quickly went out of the window. So, God of Ruin, Rena Kent, page 386. Fuck, I knew I'd love your voice since the first time I heard you whisper. It's just quotes I like. Again, more collages. These are ones I found. I think this is one I made, but these are the ones I found. Moving on to February. Again, I tried to stick with the finished circled thing. It's quickly changed to just tracking how many days I read in a row. But for February, I read 21 books. 9 were physical and 12 were Kindle, with a total of 8,054 pages. Starting that month, I did God of War, which was the Rena Kent one. It was the final book in the Legacy of God series, so I started it off with that. Got into a cowboy romance. But yeah, mostly I think a lot of Mafia ones this month. Yeah, oh my god. There's not many times I can say I hate a book, but I hated this book with a burning passion, because nothing I ever looked up said that it was going to be like a supernaturally sci-fi kind of book, and oh my god, it threw me through a loop. I was already halfway through it and I wasn't going to DNF. But another a lot of hockey romances this month. March, which is my birthday month. Not a lot of books that month, I'm pretty sure. I was having some really bad anxiety that month. It was just really, really bad, but I got 17 books done. 4 were physical and 13 on my Kindle, with 4,881 pages total. But I did start with some fantasy books that I'd had on my shelf for a while, and just completely forgot where they were there. So I finished them because I'd read the oh my god, the Cruel Prince series a few years ago, and I wanted to finish the series off. I did feel like it did not need to be 2 books. They could have put The Prisoner's Throne into The Stolen Heir and it would have made for such a lovely and long read. It just did not need to be that long. A lot of country and small town ones. Again, more country and more small town, but they were really good. More novellas to end the month off. April, I did 80 books, and this is when my I think I was trying to escape into books sort of thing. But again, it was a lot of novellas, or like shorter books. Oh, and yeah, Kiss the Villain by Rena Kent come out, and I had to binge read that in a day because I just could not put it down. I also started the the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. I'd been putting it off for years and years, and I finally bought the whole series and just read them, I'm pretty sure within a week. Yeah, within a week, because I could not put them down. It had me in a chokehold. It still does. I am waiting for the day that Miss Lauren Asher brings out the Dirty Air series, as in their kids. But again, some collages of Wrecked by Lauren Asher, and I think this one's redeeming because there's no cover on it, but I'm pretty sure it's redeeming. Again, a lot more novellas, a fantasy series, dystopian series I started 2 years ago. The author released a spin-off, so I read that in one sitting, and then cried because I read it in one sitting and it ended on a cliffhanger. More novellas, a lot of novellas. This is also, oh my gosh, I fell in love with orc romances, as you're gonna see, and monster romances. My Orc Valentine, the Orc's Blacksmith's Bride, the Orc's Tramp of Black. I went hard for orc romances. But like, I can't explain it. They're like a guilty pleasure, okay? May came around, 19 books, 8 physical, 11 Kindle. Sorry, I'm really hungry. 5,318 pages total. And I was trying to work my way through my physical books. Quickly ended it because I got into a slump with the Predators. Well, not the Predator series. The oh my god, I can't remember the whole series. The Predator by Runix put me in a slump. I was like, oh my god. It was one of my most hopeful reads, and I was crushed. It was awful. I hated it. I thought, right, we'll try the next one. Nope. So I just skipped it and went on to some novellas, which weren't really novellas, but they technically kind of were. And then I went to my favourite romances, which they always get me out of a slump, put it that way. And then Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford finally dropped and released, and I had to binge read that in one day. But it took me 4 days because I was busy. And then June, 45 books, 2 were physical and 43 were on my Kindle. Again, this is when I tried to track, so as you can see, Love Hearts were when I finished one book, and then I wrote the number of how many books I read, which was they were novellas, obviously, because who's going to read 10 full-length books in one day? Not me. As much as I'd like to give myself credit for, I don't think I could do that. Beautiful Venom dropped by Rena Kent, which was a new one for her, completely out of the normal, because all of her books are set in a universe, so it was completely out of that, so it was just new. I did like it a lot, hence why there is a collage. You Were Never Not Mine by Monica Murphy, and I was just praising this author, but I hated that book. I didn't hate it, I just didn't like it either. I feel like it could have been better. Not that I could ever write anything better, but you know. Again, a lot of orc romances, demons, dragons. I was trying to escape that month, clearly. A lot of novellas. I started a series by Michelle Hurd called Taken by a Sinner. Binge read them in a week because I could not put them down. Then I realised I'd started her series last year with the first one in the Corrupted Royals series, so I sat and binge read the rest of them. Read them out of order. I read 2 and then 4 and then 3. But then I did the Kings of Mafia series, which was Tempted by the Devil, Craving Danger, Hunted by a Shadow, Drawn to Darkness, and God of Vengeance. Then another series of hers, which was Merciless Saints, Cruel Saints, Ruthless Saints, Tears of... The covers are mixed up, but Tears of Betrayal and Tears of Salvation. Then there was Beautifully Broken, Beautifully Hurt, and Not My Hero, as well as Careless. And then I went to a novella by a different author because these 2 hadn't been released yet and I wanted to read them. So I read that, and then The Hermit came out, and then Death came out. And then we're in July. And this is when I did track how many days in a row I was reading, or so on and so forth. I went for yellow, because July and yellow is summer. I read 54 books that month, 4 of which were physical and 50 were on my Kindle. 104, 104, I can't read numbers, 10,425 pages, or like, no, but yeah, I can't do maths, I can't read numbers, and my goal for in August was physical books only. Did not happen, let me just tell you that for free. But in July I read Devious Arrangement by Jessa Wild. Oh my gosh, I read that. I liked it, not as much as I liked the first one that I started last year. I did the My Dark Romeo, Dark Desire and Dark Prince series by L.J. Sheen and Parker S. Huntington, and I did really like the books. I felt like they were a bit slow in places, but to say it was written by 2 authors, it blended really well together. Say You Swear by Megan Brady. Whoever told me that series was the one to read, it's great. I hate you. I hate you, and I hate you some more. How dare you make me read that book? Oh my god. I went into it thinking, this is gonna be great. Everyone's talking about it. It's brother's best friend. Best brother's best friend. Blah blah blah. They grew up together. No. I was deceived. I was sold a lie. Not only was I given her point of view in the first, and then his point of view, it then throws in a third guy. I'm not gonna give it away, but it is a love triangle, and safe to say I hated it with a burning passion. Anyway, moving on. I then read Shattered Hearts by Renee Parker, Brutal Obsession by Renee Parker again. Did not need to be 2 books. Could have been in 1. Hence the low rating. A lot of novellas by Cassie Hart and Evie Rose. Cassie Hart mostly because I wanted to read all of her works. So I did spend a lot of July reading all of her stuff, as you can tell. Again, a lot of novellas. And then I read My Silver Lining by Laura Pavlov, and her writing is one I can guarantee will make me cry, no matter what. Mafia books. Mafia novellas. And then we're in August, and this was my favourite book for last month. I just didn't have space. So it was Precious Hazard by Neva, I don't know how to say her name, Neva Altaj, and if I'm butchering that, I'm so sorry. But it was a mafia romance, and it's part of like an 11 book series. Could be 12. But oh my god, I couldn't put it down. I get really anxious around new people, and it was really bad in August. But I went for a phase of Kylie Kent books, and I did the Sons of Valentino series, and then I did her Kings of Vegas, Kingpins of Vegas, one of them series. The new one comes out next month. Then I did the Valentino series, which is the one that starts before the Valentino Air series. And then I did the novellas that are spin-offs from the Valentino Sun series. Listen, it's all connected, it's great. I tried to read the others, but I couldn't really get into them, so I'm going to save them for another time, get into them then. A lot of Mountain Men books. A lot of Mountain Men books. And then we're in September, and so far I think I've read seven books, I think. But I'm keeping track. I went for an autumn feel because it's officially autumn. Goodbye summer. So far I've read Love Arranged by Lauren Asher, which was the final one in a series called The Lakefront Billionaires. If there's one thing you can count on, it's Lauren Asher giving you a heart-wrenching story. And then I started Chasing Shelter by Catherine Cowles, which I wasn't expecting much from. And then I ended up in a chokehold crying for days because of this one book, and I couldn't put it down. And then it was some novellas while I waited for the rest of the Sparrow Falls series to arrive, which is the one by Catherine Cowles. Exception to the Rule by Christina Lauren. I didn't like it. Rosie in the Dreamboat, which, oh my god, I loved. It was only 44 pages, but oh my god, if I didn't fall in love with the characters. Then we had Sweet Temptation by Cora Riley, and I wasn't expecting much because I'd read one by Cora Riley before, and I didn't really vibe with her writing style, but I couldn't put it down. It was only 292 pages, but it was so good. And then yesterday I finished Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles, which is the first book in the Sparrow Falls series. Sorry about that. It was the 5th one in the series, and this one's the first, because I didn't think I would like them. And they're all standalone, so it didn't matter. I've not got any spoilers. Well, I have, but not major ones. But this one made me cry as well, and now I'm on the second one, which is Delicate Escape. I'm only halfway through it, and when I tell you, this author has got me crying, it's unreal. Like, I'll go get it. Yeah, so this one's called Delicate Escape. And the covers are actually stunning. Let me get rid of my book journal, sorry. The cover's stunning. But I can't even begin to explain to you, like, I'm not even halfway through yet. Actually, I think I'm 40 pages before I get to halfway. But I can't put it down. I'm just gonna skip to some of my favourite quotes. So we can't always see a person's capacity for evil, but that doesn't make us culpable. It means we see the good around us. Another one, which would be, we can't let the bad experience sour the rest of our lives. We can't let the bad win, make us stop living. If we lock ourselves down, we don't keep out the bad. We don't just keep out the bad, we keep out the good also. And then another, my stomach is about to growl and I apologise. Another is, see, told you. Because everything about you screams that you've been fighting alone for too damn long, Thorn. You need someone to help carry the weight for a little while. I might not be able to fix everything, but I can help carry the load. I bawled my eyes out. I bawled my eyes out because I don't know what it is, but every character that I've read so far in this series I've related to a little bit too hard. And she's just, she writes amazing books. They're detailed, but not in a bad way. Sometimes authors will throw information at you and just bombard you, but like, Catherine's is done in such a way that I can't put down, even though the writing is really small and I have bad eyes, so I have to hold it quite close. Normally small writing will put me off and I'll put it on my Kindle and I'll read it on my Kindle instead, because I can obviously. So I wanted the physical copies. I needed them. So the fact that the writing's small doesn't even bother me. I've gotten used to it now, and I love them. And all of the characters have such depth to them. It's just even like the side characters are given. The side characters are given stories that you follow along with. Each one of these has had like a I wouldn't say mystery, but it's like a mystery aspect to it. And like in the last, sorry, my stomach. In the last one, I could not figure out who it was gonna. I can't give anything away, obviously. Who the bad guy essentially was going to be. I couldn't figure it out. But oh my god, when it came down to it, I had no idea. I was shook. I was screaming at my book and getting side-eye from the dog. But yeah, I thought I'd just make this quick video. I hope to make some more soon. I'm getting into the swing of things now. I have new neighbours, so like I'm trying to work a way around filming when they're quiet and when their dog's not barking and things like that. But yeah, I thought I'd do a quick book one because it is something that I use every day. And then when I come to do my end of month filling in, because I obviously add the covers and stuff, I'm going to film that as well, because you can get me setting up for October as well, and you'll get all the cut-in pages and things like that. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me in this really rambly video. There's not much tapping, so I guess this video is more for the people that like the whispering side of things. But I'll see you guys later.